Welcome, 70 white Persian monkeys, to Geek Salad's retro movie reviews from the Geek Salad podcast. I'm Andy.
He's got the monkeys. Come see the monkeys. I'm Mike.
I'm doing my dance. And today we are discussing, originally we were going to discuss just 1992's Walt Disney animated classic Aladdin, but something happened.
Yeah, we both saw the new Aladdin.
We did. And because of that, we didn't do a retro movie review last week. And the reason why was because we had it planned for like Friday or Saturday night. And then I got tickets to go see Aladdin last night. We were originally going to see it like this coming Saturday. So the opportunity came up. I asked Mike if it was cool if we just ditched a couple of days. He was good. And here we are. We're doing 2 movie reviews for the price of 1 on this free channel.
Wow, such a deal.
God, it's like I'm giving it away. So let's begin with the Clements and Musker directed animated movie from 1992. Mike, when was the first time you saw Aladdin?
I don't think I saw it in theaters. This was still right around. It was right around the time when I was still like not allowed to go to theaters. It was like kind of on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw it on we rented it on VHS probably pretty closely after it came out, and we watched it quite a lot.
Okay.
And just forewarning, this one and The Lion King kind of vie for my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Right. I did see this in the theater. I didn't even see it that late in its run either. I actually was on Christmas break in college, my sophomore year of college. And I was home. I distinctly remember I was home, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect. A friend was picking me up to go to the movies, and my sister had just gotten like the top part of her ear, got long hair, so she was hiding it. And then she's sitting on one of the chairs. It's just I'm waiting for my friends to show up. She's sitting on the chair. My mom's in the room. So my sister does this. My mom notices that my sister got that part of her ear pierced. Looks at me, said, "Did you know about this?" And I'm like, "Oh, look, my friends are here. Goodbye."
No answer given.
On a magic carpet ride. Yeah, it was just like, it's like that Homer Simpson, like,
But the real question is, did you know?
I did not, actually.
Okay.
I don't, you know what? That's a detail I don't remember.
Gotcha. Enough said.
Okay. Yes. And then when this came out on video cassette, I was all over this one. Mainly, I think, because from that, that golden renaissance that Disney had between 89 and 99, this movie is really the most forward-thinking and modern movie of that cluster. It really is. It felt more like it wasn't pandering to kids.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually kind of see that. I mean, this one I would say is the most well-rounded as far as age appropriateness. I mean, like Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, there are moments that you don't. I mean, like Little Mermaid, Ursula gets speared pretty graphically. Beauty and the Beast dies.
Right. And Gaston falls from a very, very high altitude.
Yeah, and Lion King, I mean, need we say more?
Exactly.
But this one, there's really no moment where you're like, oh, I don't want my kid to see that. It's pretty much everything works for kids. Everything works for adults. There's really no moment that dips for either genre, really.
And if I can be a bit sexist here, this one is also for boys.
Well, it's the first one where you see a bare midriff.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Jasmine's now non-existent in the Walt Disney World parks midriff.
I am.
I'm talking about essentially the main character is a man. It appeals more. It's not a romance. The romance is secondary to the story itself of just being able to be true to yourself.
And I would say that the romance, while is the most important important aspect,
it's the catalyst for the action, but
it's kind of secondary to the bromance.
The bromance, exactly. That's a great way of putting it. This is Disney's first bromance movie.
Yeah, and it's very well done bromance too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is just one of these movies that it's timeless. It's interesting to say that this movie is timeless, considering how dated a lot of the references the Genie does.
Yeah.
In this movie, we were talking about it last night. It's like there's a William F. Buckley reference. There's an Arsenio Hall reference. There's a
Peter
reference.
There's a Peter Lorre reference.
There is a Peter Lorre reference. You're right. I don't like doing it. There's just a lot of pop culture stuff that you wouldn't see today, and really you almost need like an encyclopedia to know what is he referencing here? What is he referencing here?
Well, I mean, I know we're not kind of going into the new one yet, but that's one thing I will say is Will Smith's Genie does not make those like kind of references that are kind of dated.
Right.
They're more generic references.
Right, exactly. And obviously you have the freedom with animation.
Yeah.
Which I still don't feel that you still have that freedom when you're trying to do photorealistic CG.
That's fair.
Because it would look weird.
Yeah.
And again, let's really touch on the live action Aladdin. There were certain bits where he was like he would wear Aladdin's face in it. That looked weird.
I think it was intended to look weird, though.
Yeah, I know, but it was just like,
yeah.
I know that they weren't aiming to try better at that.
Right? Yeah, I gotcha.
But this movie is almost all about. I mean, this movie's got two major things going for it. Robin Williams, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to talk about this movie and not immediately either start talking about Robin Williams as a Genie, quoting Robin Williams as the Genie. There's just so much of him in this movie. It's hard to, first of all, it's hard to fathom anybody else doing that.
Yeah.
In the auspice of the animated film.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like about a year ago or so, I actually submitted a question to Collider Movie Talk, and they chose it for on air. It was which is the best Disney voice acting ability, and it was Rob Williams as Genie, James Earl Jones as Mufasa, or Pedro O'Hara as Belle. And
what? That's what they came up with the other two?
No, that's what I suggested.
Oh,
because I thought those were the three most strongest performances.
Okay.
And everyone chose Robin Williams because not only did he give you the full Robin Williams feel, but there was an emotional depth to him, especially towards the end, that there weren't as many levels as like in Belle or as Mufasa as they felt there wasn't with Genie.
Right. I mean, the thing is that the Genie itself kicked off like this run of the over-the-top comedic sidekick, voiced by an A-list actor.
Yeah.
This really kickstarted this. About 2 weeks ago, Lindsay Ellis put out a video on YouTube that essentially was a breakdown of Robin Williams's war with Disney after this movie came out, and how this is the first time that they really used a top level A-list celebrity at the peak of his powers.
It's true.
To do this movie. I mean, they've used celebrities before. I mean, hell, you can go back to stuff like Billy Joel I mean, they build Billy Joel.
Yeah.
In Oliver and Company, you know, Vincent Price and The Great Mouse Detective.
Well, I mean,
whereas Robin Williams, this was centered around him.
Yes. I mean,
And
he was all over all the trailers.
Absolutely. And I guess he had asked that they don't revolve everything, the marketing around him. And it's kind of tough to do because the Genie is a very big part of that story.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest takeaway. Still their actors. I mean, they've kind of they've kind of pulled back from doing that now. Disney has. It's not like DreamWorks where the names, like, all right, let's talk about Will Smith's DreamWorks animated adventure, The Fish Story or whatever. Shark's Tale, where their names are above the title. Yeah. Shrek, names are above the title.
I would say the closest Disney has done for that fairly recently was The Rock in Moana.
But the thing is that they didn't really, that wasn't part of the advertising. They, you know, the trailers don't do voiceovers anymore. So the nice thing with that is that you're kind of like, oh, does that sound like they're, and maybe they'll throw that in there along with a couple of other celebrities. I don't remember them doing it for Moana.
I mean, he was definitely in the trailers.
Oh, and you can definitely tell it was him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they don't need to go to the lengths that other studios have to go to say who's doing voices in their movies.
I mean, to be fair, though, that's kind of the benefit of being Disney, is the Disney name itself.
Exactly. Yeah. It is interesting though, because when you look at Aladdin and the King of Thieves, the one that Robin Williams came back for.
Yeah.
It actually, if you look at the video cassette box, it actually says starring Robin Williams.
Well, of course.
They actually gave him, like, on the poster credit for it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So the other takeaway with this are the songs. This was the last collaborations of Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. Howard Ashman written these songs prior to passing away, right before Beauty and the Beast was launched. And Tim Rice came in. Tim Rice actually wrote their Oscar winner.
The Whole New World.
Whole New World was written by Tim Rice and Alan Menken.
Yeah. And I mean, do you remember which ones Ashman did do?
You know what? I'm gonna look that up. I don't. I think he might have done Prince Ali. He might have done
Friend Like Me?
Yeah, Prince Ali, Friend Like Me, maybe.
Look what I got.
Oh, you got the soundtrack. Okay, great.
All right, let me take a look and see what kind of authors.
By
Ashman was Arabian Nights.
All right.
Friend
Like Me, Prince Ali, and Proud of Your Boy.
I still wish that they brought in Proud of Your Boy, because I've listened to that song from the Broadway score, and I really, really love that song.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any digital copy of Aladdin, be it Blu-ray, be it DVD, Proud of Your Boy, the cutscene for Proud of Your Boy is on there.
Yeah.
I think the nice thing about the animated movie is that it's very, very tidy.
Yeah.
There's very little filler. And that's the thing with Proud of Your Boy. Proud of Your Boy works better on a stage. It gives Aladdin a little more character.
Yeah, I guess
on the stage. I don't think it was necessary for the actual movie.
I think it was supposed to be kind of where they have the One Jump Ahead reprise. I think that was supposed to be Proud of Your Boy, but in the end they kind of preferred, since Ashman wasn't there to fight for it, they was like, you know what, the One Jump Ahead reprise kind of works a little bit better for that.
Right.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love the reprise.
Yeah, I do too, because that honestly is the recurring motif. in the score throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like that tune just kind of hums along the entire thing during the more solemn moments in the animated movie. All right, rating Jafar on the great terrible scale of Disney villains.
I like Jafar a lot. He is definitely more on the cartoonish side, I would say. He's definitely more of a larger than life villain.
Okay.
I mean, you just look at him and like, yeah, he's a bad guy. He looks like a bad guy. He
How are
talks
you
like
all
a bad
fooled
guy.
by this?
Yeah. Well, because he has a hypnotism staff.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing about this guy that says he's not a bad guy.
Right. That's true. That's true.
But that being said, I like him. I think he's a fun one to watch.
Yep. Okay. I just lost my train of thought here. All right, other celebrity voice. Mike, what are your thoughts on Iago?
I do like Iago. Gilbert Godfrey. I think he plays Gilbert Godfrey, but in this role it works, I think.
Okay. Sorry, I just have to do something here.
No, that's right.
Okay. You know what? He's okay. I'm not the biggest Gilbert Gottfried fan in the world.
No, I'm not either, to be fair. But I think this role suits him, I think.
Okay. What about, all right, so let me ask you another question. Jasmine, up or down on the princess scale?
Oh, up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Needless to say, I Jasmine hit me at the right time.
Okay.
Expound
on that, please.
I was like, in that, the bare midriff and the halter toff. I was just starting to kind of peak at that time, and so I was like, oh, well, let me just look a little bit more.
Oh, jeez, come on, it's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's a cartoon.
It doesn't mean it's not an attractive cartoon.
It's a cartoon, Mike.
Okay. 1988, Jessica Rabbit. Cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
It's a very attractive cartoon.
I was a 16-year-old boy, Mike. So, all right, and now just Aladdin. What are your thoughts on Aladdin in general?
I like Aladdin. I'm actually kind of. It's both a pro and a con that the genie is as great as he is, because he does take the shine away from Aladdin when it really is Aladdin's story. And I know Brad Kane did the singing voice. I can't remember who does the actual speaking voice for Aladdin, but
it's not Brad Kane doing that too.
That's a good question. Let me look that up real quick.
Please look that up.
All right, Scott Wanger is Aladdin.
Okay.
And Brad Kane is the singing voice.
Okay.
I think Aladdin is, he's a fun guy. I like how they introduce him as, he's a thief, but he's still trying to help out people that are even worse off than he is. Amazingly enough,
he's a charming thief.
Exactly, he's a gentleman thief. Although he's
yeah.
Although he's not terribly gentlemanly, he's just street rat.
Right, exactly. Well, he's got a monkey too, which means he smells like a monkey.
Oh, monkeys smell bad. Monkeys smell terrible.
So,
but let me get your thoughts on A Whole New World.
On A Whole New World. Okay. I like it. It's really tough because I really love the Genie songs, and I really love One Step Ahead.
One Jump Ahead.
One Jump Ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I like that one a lot. A Whole New World just it fits into that thing that a lot of the movies from that era were doing, just like Beauty and the Beast, just like Can You Feel the Love Tonight, where it's obviously it was written to be the Oscar winner of that year, and that's back when Disney used to dominate that field.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, well, it is my favorite Disney movie music song of all time.
okay. I mean,
I
don't mind it. In fact, out of the three, out of the other two I just listed, it's my I like it the best out of those Oscar bait songs.
Fair enough.
But again, I like the more upbeat stuff on here, and I really feel that Friend Like Me has a lot of spirit and so much character.
Well, I mean, when they give Robin Williams a song, they make it a Robin Williams song.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But the weird thing is, as we've seen from other iterations of this, be it the Broadway musical or the live action, they didn't have to do a lot to change the lyrics. So it's not exactly a Robin Williams song in the way that a lot of Robin Williams like a lot of the songs that you would expect them to be. The characterizations aren't such that it's just exclusively the domain of Robin Williams doing that.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, trying to think, and then Prince Ali is the same thing.
Yeah.
Prince Ali is a goddamn earworm.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's galloping hordes.
100 bad guys with swords.
we were a little concerned about about whether or not they're going to cut the slaves from the latest version of that.
Oh yeah. Did they?
They did. Oh,
okay.
They did.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, in going skipping ahead to the new one, the Will Smith songs are good. Not my favorite in the new one.
Okay. Do we want to move on?
I'm fine.
Since we're doing the comparison, let's move on to the 2019 Aladdin.
Okay.
And we'll get right into the songs. Okay. So, Mike, you're gonna be happy to know I actually really enjoyed Aladdin.
Oh, thank goodness. He would not tell me what his opinion of it was.
Yeah, it's not flawless.
No.
By any measure, and I will go into that. And one of honestly the issues I really had, a lot of the arrangements of the existing songs were just like, I think it's more Aladdin, like the way Aladdin handled the songs versus anybody else. In that they just seemed like they were really trying to show off a little more on the vocal range, whereas with the animated movie, the songs really were they're smoother, less show-offy, more just, like basic Broadway.
All right.
And so there's that. I did enjoy the dance numbers, though, like the Bollywood-style dance numbers.
Yes.
I like those a lot. Those are really cool.
Although the flip was a little bit too much.
Oh, yes, the flip. Sorry.
A joke if you've seen the movie.
Yes, that does make sense if you've seen the movie. So song-wise, I wasn't really 100% thrilled with a lot of the arrangements. I really felt Speechless came out of nowhere and is very it doesn't jive with any of the themes. It was literally written for another Oscar song.
See, Speechless for me, Speechless tricked me because I mean, they start off with this new song and they only play and it only goes for a minute. I'm like, oh, nice song, but it's only a minute. Okay, whatever. But then when they hit it and they do the reprise in the later on, and it's the full version, I'm like, oh, now I get what they were trying to do with the song. And I really, really enjoy that song. That's probably my favorite.
Good, but it's taken out of context. You can take it out of context with the rest of the movie, and it's a good song. It just was weird because it's the only original song in the entire movie. Everything else is,
except for the third reprise of One Jump Ahead.
Yeah, but again, that's added lyrics. That was that added lyrics credit that they had on there.
Yeah.
But Speechless it doesn't fit with the themes that the other songs are trying to do, and the way it was introduced. And this is a full spoiler alert here, so please jump ahead if you have not yet seen Aladdin. It's a dream sequence, and it just comes out of and it just is like, what's going on?
I'm assuming you're talking about the second part.
The second part, yeah, not the first part. The first part was a tease. It was like, that's it. That's all they gave her.
Yeah. It does, but for me, it really kind of felt what they were building to with Jasmine.
Right.
I mean, they gave Jasmine kind of her own little subplot, and kind of like she constantly be pushed aside, by her father, by Jafar, and this was kind of her breaking the moment. Her breaking point when she was like, I can't do this anymore, and she had to break it, and that's when she kind of like shows off like who she really is to both Jafar and the Sultan. And I thought that actually really worked well for me. That's why I like Speechless so much.
Right. It really took me out of the moment because of that, especially because it's a song that when you're looking at the way it was handled in the animated movie, there was no song there. Jasmine literally sings once, and that's a whole new world. I
mean, you're not. I can't hold it against you because Jonna kind of felt
jackhammered in. It really feels jackhammered in there.
Jonna kind of felt a little bit like that, but for me, it worked really, really well. And like I said, I love that song. That's my favorite song, followed very closely by the new version of A Whole New World. I think Naomi Watts and
Naomi Watts is a different actress.
Naomi Watts and Naomi Scott and Mina Masood. I thought they did a fantastic job covering that song. Granted, I still like the original version more, but for those two actresses, those two actors, I thought they did a fantastic job covering it.
I thought it was okay. Really, this is good. If you're going to hear any grapes about this, the remake, for me, it's mainly going to be about the songs. It's just maybe that I just don't like when they really try to top 40 songs that have already been established. And you can like, there were certain things like within Prince Ali that I did like, that they changed a bit of the orchestration on that just to kind of suit the more Middle Eastern feel of the songs. But it just, when you're starting to do the runs and you're starting to hold the high notes and all that, it's not. This is Broadway. It's not top 40 radio.
Maybe you just have a different aspect because you're more Broadway, more musically theater inclined.
Maybe.
I mean, I enjoy musical theater, but I'm not opposed to kind of musical theater sounding more top 40-ish.
Yeah.
Like you hated the soundtrack for Greatest Showman.
Yes, I did. Absolutely hated that.
And I actually liked a few of the songs on it. So
yeah, I mean, for me, it mainly comes down to, and this is just more of a musical snob coming out now, that the songs have to be in there and they have to have a point to be in there.
All right.
And you better have a goddamn good reason for why they're not in there, why there's no reason for the song to be in there, to make it work. Speechless just doesn't work. It's an empowerment song that could have been done earlier in the movie.
Well, it was done early in the movie.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds.
A minute and 10, I think.
All right, I mean, all right, whatever. What you have the soundtrack, don't you? You know, all right.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, it's just the songs weren't. I don't think that the new stuff was used to its best advantage. So that's all I'm gonna say about the music. You know, you and I are gonna disagree about this.
Yeah.
I really, really cringed at a lot of the CG animals. Abu especially. I felt like that was Uncanny Valley. Just looking into that monkey's face was an Uncanny Valley.
Abu didn't really bother me, mainly because I just didn't really pay much attention to him. I mean, he served a similar purpose to in the original, but I mean, he wasn't in a whole lot of the movie.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, when it was appearing, I was like, yeah, it's a CG monkey. Okay, whatever. It's CG monkey. I just accepted there was a CG monkey. Yeah, it's fine.
Right. You know, I actually didn't mind how they handled Yago.
I like how Alan Tudyk gave him a more parrot-like voice
and a more menacing voice.
Yes,
he was actually kind of scary, which I liked. I mean, what's that?
What about Jafar?
I was not intimidated by Jafar at all, and that's the thing. I don't like the actor that the character model that they used in the animated movie. Jafar was very, very tall, very, very angular.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that angular villains are more threatening. They, you know, their face looks like knives. Yeah. And he just, because he looms over everything, he's so much taller and bigger than everything. And Jafar is Aladdin's height, and he just intimidation factor to him. He was effective at what he needed to do, but at the same time, I didn't get like there was never a point where I got really tense, like, oh, what's going to happen, even though I know what's going to happen.
I did like the fact that they kind of built up his backstory.
Yeah, and that's usually what these remakes are good for.
Yeah, and basically he and Aladdin kind of started on the same foot, but Jafar went one way, Aladdin went the other way.
Right. I just thank God they didn't reveal they were brothers or something.
Yeah, that would have been kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we never saw his mother.
Shut up. I have to say the MVP of the entire movie, though, is Nasim Pedrad.
Did he play? Was he Hakeem?
No, Nasim Pedrad was Delilah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really like Delilah.
I was very shocked when I saw her name in the credits because Nasim Pedrad was a cast member on Saturday Night Live. Excuse me.
Oh.
And she left the show to go do John Mulaney's ill-fated sitcom, which even he jokes about. And then she kind of fell off the face of the planet. I'm sure she did, like, she appeared in like different Hulu shows and stuff like that. But it was nice to see someone of her comedic talent be able to integrate into this cast. And let's just talk a second that this is a very successful movie that is about 99.9% cast with brown people.
Yeah, with people of Arabian descent. Yeah,
right. People of, and the nice thing is too, reading in the trivia that there is Agrabah supposed to be like a melting pot.
Yeah,
so it makes sense that someone like the actor who plays Aladdin is Egyptian, and Naomi Scott, who played Jasmine, is Indian, and you know, there's all these varying things. Nasim Pedrad is Iranian.
And can we? The interactions between her and Will Smith
were fantastic.
When Will Smith was like trying to like kind of ask her out, and she was kind of just playing kind of like coy and all that.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, I don't know who this actress is, but she's holding her own against Will Smith, and he is already I really enjoyed Will Smith in this movie, and seeing them like play off each other, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah. I was not bothered by Will Smith as much as I thought I was going to be. Just like Robin Williams, Will Smith is a kind of actor where you're watching them play themselves playing another character.
Yeah.
And, you know, in something like this, it kind of works. It's just like Robin Williams as the Genie. And I really have to give Will Smith some mad credit for not trying to do Robin Williams. He was doing Will Smith.
Yeah.
And fortunately for him, he was doing the best Will Smith.
Yes.
And, you know, this wasn't Bright. This wasn't Suicide Squad Will Smith. I mean, this is Independence Day and Men in Black Will Smith.
And, you know, just like in the animated one, the relationship between Aladdin and the Genie is really one of the central pillars of this movie, and it is a strong central pillar. I
actually loved how they gave the Genie more of a reason to be concerned about Aladdin, that, you know, you're going to go down this path where it's never enough.
Yeah.
Every master I've ever had, it's never enough. And I really, really like that a lot. I do want to talk about Naomi Scott, though, because she is the breakout star of this movie.
Well, I mean, she was also one of the breakout stars of Power Rangers as well.
Oh, is she at Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, she was Kimberly, the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
In the movie, not the show.
Right, the 2017 movie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I don't remember her. We reviewed that movie.
Yes, we did.
I really like that they gave her more agency. She is more she actually has more than just like, I don't want to get married and that's it. You never let me out. She actually has ideas, and those ideas are not being listened to because she's a woman.
Yeah, she is definitely much more assertive in this movie than she was in the animated one.
And she's definitely, we saw, now have you seen the Broadway Aladdin?
No.
Right. Autumn and I saw it last summer. Jasmine's useless in the musical. She literally is there. I think they threw another song her way.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, if it's the same song that they used in the when they showed the show out in Disney's California Adventure,
more than likely. Jasmine was useless in it. In fact, the Jasmine we saw was just there. You know, it was like, okay, we pretty much can tell this is a blonde woman wearing a dark wig. And Naomi Scott was she was fantastic. I mean, she is just breathtaking, first of all. She is a beautiful woman. Very, I could buy her as royalty.
Yes.
She did a fantastic job in what really is the thankless role. I mean, whenever you talk about Aladdin, no one ever's like, oh, my favorite part was Jasmine. You know?
I do like the fact that they started this movie with her already in disguise. We didn't see her kind of in the palace. We see her for the first time, like kind of free and among her people.
Right.
And that
was an interesting decision to do that. I'm actually happy that they did do it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't set up the same tropes that your typical Disney movie does, and your typical animated movie that Disney does, like the 1992 animated version. Yeah, it is quite an interesting take on it. I did not, here's the thing. They added about 40 plus minutes of additional stuff to pad out the story.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. I
really will give that a lot of credit. It worked. The way that they introduce the story. They don't have the seller. They have Will Smith on the boat telling the story to his children.
Yeah.
If I go back to the music real quick, Will Smith can't sing. I'm sorry. He's very flat, kind of tone deaf, and it's ironic because he got his start in the music industry.
I will say, his version of Arabian Nights, not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Prince Ali lives and dies by the dance sequence and the special effects. It doesn't live which is good because it would suffocate under the weight of his just inability to be. There's no character in it. It's Will Smith talking through a song.
Yeah, I like, Arabian Nights aside, his version of Prince Ali and his version of Friend Like Me, I was like, yeah, I had fun with them. They weren't. I mean, oddly enough, Robin Williams had a better singing voice than he did.
Right.
And I enjoyed Robin Williams' versions better. But that being said, I didn't. I would sit and watch, then listen to those parts. I wouldn't skip through his songs.
I feel like Friend Like Me, the visuals behind it really sold this one, and they have to.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it's a lively song. You got your stripper sax in there, and it works really, really well. But a lot of that is the stuff that he's kind of just, pulling it out of his little hat.
Yeah. They have a lot more fun with like all the visual effects in Prince Ali and Friend Like Me than Arabian Nights, which is why that song probably doesn't work as well for me.
Right. And another thing too, and this is more of a comparison, not so much to the animated movie, than to the Broadway show. It livens the one step, the one jump ahead is a very lively number that wakes people up versus the stage version, much sitting there waiting for the genie to show up, and he doesn't show up until the end of Act 1.
Yeah, it helped that they gave Aladdin all those Parker skills.
Oh yeah, the parkour stuff was interesting. You know what? I am so very happy though they didn't really rely on that all that much.
Yeah, it was there, but it wasn't his central point. His central quality.
A couple things here and there.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, I mean, I would give the live action a solid B.
I would give it. Honestly, I'd give it an A-. I really liked it a lot.
I'm still going to go with Jungle Book being the gold standard for the live action remake.
I actually like Aladdin more than Jungle Book.
Really?
Jungle Book's my number 2. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but there was just something. I mean, again, I love the original animated one so much, so I already really loved the story, right? And I thought they did a really great job with it in live action. So, and I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, if it's not an animated one, I don't care about it. No, it's like, dude, they're both good movies.
Right. No, there was definitely, and I am so happy that Guy Ritchie finally got a win.
Yeah.
Oh my God! After that awful King Arthur movie, he's finally got a hit.
I've seen bits and pieces of the King Arthur one. It's
fucking terrible.
It's unique. I'll give it that.
Terrible. It's not. No, it's not unique. It's awful.
There are moments where I'm like, I would like to see more of that, and then they take it away.
Right, exactly. I mean, it is just utter horseshit. It's just like, here's something cool that you can not have,
Yeah,
no, you don't get that either.
This was the Guy Ritchie that we knew was in there, but we hadn't seen in a while.
I had completely forgotten that Guy Ritchie had directed Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, this was the Guy Ritchie of Sherlock Holmes, where
the first Sherlock Holmes, not the second one. The second sequel is very, very disappointing.
It was disappointing. I still had some fun with it.
I like Stephen Fry as Mycroft, but that's just me because I like Stephen Fry.
No, I agree.
But yeah, it's I'm so happy to see him return to form. And there were very few, but welcome Guy Ritchie-isms in the movie.
Yes.
During the end of One Jump Ahead with that slow-mo, of Aladdin and Jasmine and Abu, and then when Jafar pushes them out the window.
Yeah.
But they were very, very. I will actually. You don't say this about a lot of Walt Disney live action animated remakes. It's very restrained. I think they were actually very restrained in things that they could have done a lot. They chose to keep it at a minimum, and that is good. Less is more.
You know, oddly enough, I mean, you don't say that much about Disney live action movies, but you also don't say that much about Guy Ritchie movies.
Very true.
When he's restrained and he knows when to put his touches in and when to pull them back, he can really pull some magic out, and I think he did that here.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. So, I mean, I still love the animated movie more than I like this one. I was very happy that I enjoyed the live action Aladdin more so than I thought I was going to. It was interesting too because one of the previews we got. Did you get the preview for Maleficent?
Yeah, Maleficent 2, The Mistress of Evil. I still have never seen the original.
Oh my god, the original is a retcon.
I've heard that.
Yeah, to essentially make her the good guy, and now it's like, wait, what's going on? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Is she a good guy or is she the Mistress of Evil?
This movie made $100 million, which actually isn't great. They still made a sequel for it, so
I thought it made a lot more than that.
I'm sure it made a little more than 100 mil. It wasn't like an all-out blockbuster. Let's just put it that way. It didn't do the money that I think Aladdin is gonna end up doing. It definitely did do Beauty and the Beast money. I don't even think it did money.
No, Beauty and the Beast is $2 billion, right?
1.2 billion. It was like 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars.
Yeah.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
Yeah, well, no, I looked up Maleficent. It made worldwide 758.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Right. I was talking domestic on the 100 million, by the way. So
okay. Well, that requires an entirely different website.
That's all Box Office Mojo.
That's where I'm going now.
All right, there you go. So yeah, I was very happy with that. Now I get to sit it out and wait for the Lion King live action to come up, and hope to God they put some expression on those animals' faces.
Maleficent domestic was 241.
You're shitting me.
Nope, 241.410.
That doesn't sound right. I'm going to believe you. I believe you. That doesn't sound right. Well,
I mean, does it sound right that the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland made 1.4 billion?
You go to hell.
Again, does that sound right? No, it does not.
That's why we can't have nice things.
And yet this one made 42 million, 7 million less than Godzilla made in its second weekend.
That's another topic for another day. That really is. I promise you, folks, we are never going to review a Godzilla movie here because they defy reviewing. They are what they are.
I love Godzilla movies myself.
Yeah, I do too. They defy. I mean, you don't review a Godzilla movie for its subtle nuances. You review it because there are two big monsters beating the shit out of each other over a city.
Well, the original 1954 Godzilla you reviewed for the subtle nuances. Since then,
that was more the art film.
Yeah, after that, it's two guys in rubber suits beating the crap out of each other, which is fun.
So anyway, that was Aladdin's. And next week, Mike, we're going to start reviewing our summer blockbusters.
Yep.
Great. So we have some people on deck that are going to help us review those. If you have a summer blockbuster, actually, and that's really a movie released between Memorial Day and Labor Day in any given summer, something that made a bit of money. Let's not talk about some of these low web things. We're not saying yet, anyway. I'm sure we'll
come on. No, all summer movies make money, right?
Yeah, they all make money.
Yeah.
Snow White and the Huntsman movie. Remember that one?
Not really, no.
No, you don't. No one does. I think Chris Hemsworth looks at that and goes, "Wait a minute, I did this movie." So if you have one that you want to tell us that you want us to do, feel free, leave it a comment below. You can let us know at geeksalladradio@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. What did you think about Aladdin, by the way? Do you agree with Mike and I? Please leave a very civil comment below. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe so you get all of our weekly output, including audio episodes of our podcast, Geek Salad. This week, actually, Mike and I and Catherine and Joe will be reviewing all things crunchy and salty on our chips episode.
I'm glad you specified chips.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be, I mean, we're going to talk about Doritos and popcorn and all that stuff too, but chips, or for our British contingent, because we have a huge, we're huge in England now, crisps. And plenty for us to talk about. You can check out our podcast at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can download the Podbean app and get the full archive. You can also check out our latest episodes at Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and Google Music. Mike, am I forgetting something?
Not really, except my Twitter is at Gundam_Guyver.
Yes. Please follow us. And thank you, people, for pushing Geek Salad Radio to 300 plus followers.
Woohoo!
Woo! Yay. So yes, please. Our Twitter game is En Fuego, so please follow us there. And I think that was everything. Like, I always do this.
Yes. Yes.
Good. All right. Anyway, go forth, be nerful, and don't you dare close your